Hi, Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a healthy, safe holiday time. I am just wrapping up. This is my last weekend of a couple weeks off, and I had some good time off. So hopefully everybody did too. So this evening I wanted to talk about it's here it is, beginning of the new year. You're hearing and probably being inundated with messages that, you're not enough. We need to do some kind of resolutions. Maybe this year's not quite as bad as other years because of the whole pandemic thing. I think a lot of things have been put into a different perspective, which that's a silver lining of the pandemic, I believe. But still, there's lots of messages that we need to be dieting, we need to be, working out certain ways, we need to be better, 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 better. So I wanted to just kind of have my own little view on that and share that with you and talk a little bit about body image. Especially because, as you probably know, I work with many people that have experienced sexual abuse and trauma, physical abuse and trauma, emotional abuse and trauma too. And often, if you have experienced any of those or all of those, the body image that we have may not be optimal. So, if our bodies were something that we had to leave. You've heard me talk about dissociation, getting out of our body to avoid feeling and experiencing what's happening in this moment. When we do that, it's real hard to come back and really embrace your body. Um, so that's what I really want to talk about tonight. And for my Christmas present, one of the things I got for Christmas was this little body positivity card deck. And I followed this woman. I kind of stumbled upon her by accident on Instagram, Judith Matz. She's a social worker as well. And her other person here, can't see, got to put my glasses on, Amy Pershing. But the person I follow is Judith. Anyway, she's all about body positivity and really taking a look at the messages that we have about ourselves and how to kind of um, have more awareness about the negativity in that, and then suggestions on how to turn that around. So, in this card deck, they are broken down into 4 different categories, and I happen to have, they're pretty too. So I happen to have a little sample of each one. Self-care, self-compassion, mindfulness, and body image. And there's a whole deck in each one of these headings, and you can just take one out. Maybe one a day is plenty, and check it out and do some of the deeper work that they suggest here. So let's see. This one on self-care, I chose this because I feel like it's a good kind of broad uh, way of looking at what I was just talking about a little while ago. So, body positivity allows you to end the preoccupation with food and weight. Think about the freedom that would come from being at peace with food and your body. The energy that you could save if we weren't constantly thinking about those things. So there's the heading, and then there's a little action step. So think about this one. Imagine that your mental energy is no longer taken up by thoughts of losing weight and or dieting. Imagine what that might feel like. And then identify at least 2 possibilities of what you might do with that energy, such as pursuing a new hobby or spending more time with friends. So thinking about that, the amount of energy that sometimes, especially in January, we might devote to thinking about, oh, I really gotta change. I'm not good enough. I need to look a certain way. I need to fit better into the standards that I've seen in magazines or that I see on TV. So this is really kind of freeing us up from that. Now, many of you know I'm a runner, and I do this for many reasons: body, mind, and spirit, and emotional. So I know it's healthy for me, and it gets me outside, and it also gives me, I call it a stake in the ground. I have some kind of goal or a challenge or something I'm looking forward to. For me, that's a way to build a life worth living. If it's looking forward to a 5K, or looking forward to completing something and getting a medal, or traveling back when we could travel more. I'm hoping we can do that more later on this year. You know, races and places. My friend just said, let's do that. Let's think of a place we can go to and run a race. Well, hopefully maybe later on in the year we can do that. So it's not an obsession that I need to be skinny. It's not that. It's I feel good when I do it. It helps my emotional state also to gain perspective. I often get my best ideas when I'm out there just plodding my Nico, just slow and able to smile and carry on a conversation. But I really, it like opens up my brain to be able to think of different ideas, or even not think. That's kind of nice too. So that's my practice. And I encourage you to think of, there's something I used to do that really brought me joy. And if it can be a movement, all the better, because we do want to be healthy. We want to be strong, and recognizing, however, that our body when we were 18, when we're 50, it may be a little bit different. It may be even stronger than it was back then, or it may be, okay, I need to take things a little bit slower. So I was just going to check on something. Yes, this is under the mindfulness section. Develop a user's manual for your unique body. Make note of observations such as, how does your body like to move, to be touched, to be fed, to rest, to be outdoors, when and how often? The more information you have, the better you'll be to notice your needs and develop body wisdom. Your body is unique, and your needs change over time. So when you're a teenager, you might need to rest a lot. You might need to sleep until 10 a.m. And then when you get older, you might feel like popping out of bed at 6 a.m. And that's okay. What I've talked about in prior videos is even a bit of a routine helps us to feel safer, connected, more secure. Like, okay, I know in the morning I'm going to put on my new slippers, and I'm going to get my little cup of coffee, and then I'm going to get on the treadmill because it makes me feel good. And then I'm going to have whatever it is, and listening to the body. Am I hungry? If I'm hungry, okay, that's telling me I need to eat. But if I'm not really hungry, over the vacation, I had a death in my family. Someone I love dearly died of COVID, and I was getting ready that morning to go help take care of her apartment, and my stomach was just all knotted up, and I had a delicious omelet in front of me, and I wanted to eat it, but I really listened to my body. It was like, no, you don't know. So I was proud of myself. I saved it. I only ate as much as I felt like, and then the next day I had the rest of my omelet, and it tasted delicious. So really having that mindfulness, tuning in when I'm hungry, eat, no deprivation. And then when I'm full, if we slow things down enough when we're eating and being mindful and actually tasting what we're eating, we might notice, gee, I don't like the taste of this. Maybe this cupcake looked really good, but when I taste it, it's not so good. I'm going to take a bite and I don't want it. Judith Matz, she talks about there are no good and bad foods and no cheat days and things like that. It's more intuitive eating, paying attention to what feels good when you eat something, like even over the long run. Do you have more energy if you eat this certain type of food? Being aware, mindful. So I hope that helps a little bit and that you are kinder to yourself. I'm very frequently encouraging people. We talk so negatively to ourselves. Would you ever say those things to a friend? Well, of course not. Then a practice we can also have is talking to ourselves the way we would talk to a friend. We would never criticize our friends like we do ourselves. We're pretty brutal to ourselves lots of times. So, if anything this new year, I hope that you pay a little more attention to that self-talk and be a little bit more kind. Give yourself a little bit more grace for everything that you have been through in your life and these past, few months, year, whatever. Just really being your own little cheerleader. Okay. Thank you for your attention. Have a good one.